jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
WBC champion. We've made offers to Brian Norman, WBO champion. We've made offers to Brian Norman, WBO champion. We've made offers to Brian Norman, WBO champion. Barrios, WBC champion, and Stanionis, WBA champion. All have been rejected. The one that I think has legs, and I saw all have been rejected. The one that I think WBA champion. All have been rejected. The one that I think has legs, and I saw him and his father come out in the last 24 hours, is Brian Norman. The last 24 hours is Brian Norman. 4 hours is Brian Norman. Come out in the last 24 hours is Brian Norman, the WBO champion. We've made Top Rank 2 offers now for Brian Norman. Both have been rejected in a pleasant fashion. I mean, not, we get on very well with Top Rank. He said, he posted yesterday saying we made a counter offer. We've not received any counter offer. So Brian, if you would like to make a counter offer, please hurry up and do so. But I want to make that fight. And if Brian Norman has the balls, and if Brian Norman is genuine, Brian, if you're genuine, let's go. Let's speed it up. Let's get this fight made. Because these are the kind of fights we should be making. Brian Norman says Boots is not the bogeyman. He's overhyped. Come on, Brian. If you believe that, let's get this fight made. We've made.
Well, what's up? Shout out to the hottest shot in the MFing game. You heard from the one and only Eddie Hearns. And we've pretty much been through this same as we always heard. When it comes to Eddie Hearns boosting up one of his fighters, he hasn't been always considered to be truthful and honest in these scenarios. He's been caught in several lies in the past. This is no different. You know what I'm saying? This is no different. So for those of you that's in the chat, salute to you. Hit the like button. I appreciate you. Shout out to everybody. Mike in the building. Samar Warren on deck. OG Mr. Golden. Carlos on deck. I want to get down to this though. Okay, so as you've been listening, the Norman and Ennis social media sparring has been going on, right? And it's good, because at one point in time, I said on a live, right? I said on the live back in the day that I didn't think it was a good idea for them to be in the same division and sparring one another. I did. I put it out there. And also, I'm going to big myself up by making it known that I was the first one and only one to say that Brian Norman had a better resume than Boots. Now, for those individuals who have repeated what I said and don't even give credit, I expect it. It's all good. But no one was saying that. I put it out there. I said he had a better resume than Boots, and his last performance was better than Boots' last 2 performances. I put it out there. I don't need nobody's permission to big myself up. I'll do it my goddamn self. It's all good. Because when you don't go through life looking for people to give you credit, to have confidence in yourself, you know what I'm saying? You okay. But the word is out there. The word is out there that somehow, some way, an offer was sent. And then, hearing Eddie Hearn say that the offers was rejected from 3 different fighters. When I initially heard that, did y'all remember me doing a live this past weekend? and I said, you know, on the 147-pound division, the spark has just went away. There's nothing going on there. You have champions that's there, but nothing's going on. I say somebody should be fighting somebody because it was all about Crawford, Crawford, Crawford. But now that he's gone, nobody stepped up and wanted to challenge one another. And I also put it out there that Ennis and Norman had enough fights to challenge each other. You know what I'm saying? I put it out there that Barrios has the best resume in the welterweight division. You know what I'm saying? I guess that went over a couple of people's head because they want to look at it as him being lost, absent of him having the experience. You know what I'm saying? But just to be clear, I said Norman Jr.'s record was better than Boots. And I stand on that. He had a better performance than Boots' last two performances. Nobody's looking for that Korean performance. And when you're talking about Ramon Villa now, and you're talking about Norman's last performance, you can't even compare the two with the way freaking the aggressiveness between both fighters was going down in the ring. You can't even compare the two. Santillan was coming forward, Norman was coming forward. In the Roman Villa fight, he was coming in with the high guard, and he was a static display. You know what I'm saying? It's like going to Macy's during the pandemic. Ain't nobody in there with you and the mannequins. Y'all in there having a conversation. You up there looking to see if what the mannequin has on is your size. You know, the mannequin said, "God damn, get away from me, you weird ass. God damn, you see anybody else doing that shit? Damn. Come back in 2021, man, when the pandemic over." But anyway, I always don't like when the rumor mill get put out there. It's only in boxing with the hocus pocus, right? That two fighters are sending contracts and this don't go down and that. First of all, I want to propose this question. I don't know who Bozy is when it comes to the business of Jaron Ennis. I do know who Eddie Hearns is. But if it indeed has any type of validation, how can he not know that conversation was going on and some type of transmission, active transmission of proposals was going on for Ennis to fight Norman? Also, to attach that, if there's any integrity and validation to it, did he really say they don't want that fight? They're going for Undisputed? I'm talking about, did he say that recently? I heard him say it before on record, but did he say it recently in the exchange of this deal? Because if that's indeed true, that's unfortunate. Because I don't jump on a lot of things ahead of time. I put shit out. The conversation I have off record with a lot of these people, I don't get on here and do lives for what? For what? YouTube won't let my subscribers go up. They be goddamn suppressing my freaking views and shit. I'm not gonna get on here and goddamn try to be first at this shit. I'm just gonna talk it whenever I feel like it. So I just let everybody get it out. I'm happy that you know what I'm saying, both fighters are getting their exposure. I've seen more so Norman than anybody. I haven't really seen Boost do shit. And that's the fucked up part about it. Boost don't, man, that's the bad part about it with him. He got mad talent, but he just don't want to come out to the media. He can do all that dancing like he at home around the fellas and, dancing for some bitches in the club. I get it. But the only one I seen doing media is Norman. And how is he going to be the only one to build up the fight? You know what I'm saying? I hear people up here bigging. Haven't y'all learned on what happened to Errol Spence? Haven't y'all learned? It's so many people that want to act like they want to talk to both fighters, but they say, hey, man, you really think you can do that? You really think you can do that to Boots? I'm saying to myself, haven't they learned from Errol? because they didn't think Crawford can do nothing, right? They didn't think Crawford can do anything. But I know only one out of the half has been in a sparring session with Crawford. I know that for a fact. I seen it with my own eyes. I seen it with my own eyes, man. And also in that sparring session, he did wobble Crawford. He didn't knock him down. He did wobble. But my thing is, why is so many people like got their spurs are spinning and their boots are tapping and talking about, hey man, you really think you can do that to boots? I mean, just off Ramon Villa, last time I checked, right? Just like Nip, shout out to Nip. Last time I checked, right? Nobody's looking for Jaron Ennis, Koran, his mandatory again. Nobody's looking for that fight. You know that fight happened January 23rd, January 23rd last year. That's how recent that fight happened. He went the distance with that guy. And then he got Ramon Villa. Okay? He went the distance with Koran Chulikin, and then he got Ramon Villa. A fighter who was perfectly made for his style. And then he went in there with Avanesian, and the referee, the doctor, the collusion had to come into effect for them to stop the fight. But peep this out though. I heard and I listened very intensively, like, right? And if it was something that, I can praise, like Boots is a mad talented, boxer. But he has flaws. Both fighters has flaws. Even Brian Norman has flaws. You know what I'm saying? But both of them are champions in the division right now. Boots Ennis can do very well boxing. You know what I'm saying? And Brian Norman does very well with fighting. He also, with that fighting, he brings power. No one's gonna convince me that Boots has more power than Norman. It ain't no way. You're not gonna convince me. But also, seeing him the little time I did when the clock was on, I'm saying to myself, I don't know if Jaron Ennis can fight. I'm just saying, like, I heard Norman say, yeah, I mean, it's old news, with the sparring and everything, and how he went in there, he did his thing. And that's sparring. That's good. That's good. That's good to go. But what I do understand, because I pay attention, man. I don't have to be up close to pay attention. I can be afar. What I do know about Ennis is that he loves staying in Philly to spar. And that's the same thing Ennis did. I mean, not Ennis, Errol Spence did. Errol Spence loved staying in Texas to spar. They love staying in Texas to spar. Now, I'm not saying it's bad to stay right there in the nest. Well, what happened when you have to come out that motherfucker? What happened when, crows start plotting on you? You know what you call a group full of crows? Because they some nasty birds. You know what you call them? Murder. That's what you call a group full of crows. Murder. Look it up. You call a group full of crows murder. So when crows come fucking up nests, they come with a vengeance. What's gonna happen when you have to leave the nest? You know what I'm saying? Like, I hear everybody's talking and they're mesmerized off not identifying Boots as getting hit a lot. They don't want to identify that. But what's gonna happen if he get hit with one of those power shots though? You know what I'm saying? Will he be able to take the shots if Norman lands that Avanesian was landing? Is he going to be able to do that? It's just the questions that I have when you have a lot of people that's happy-go-lucky with what they've seen, but they feel like I'm hating when I'm saying it. I said at both fighters, right? Both fighters don't have no real big names on their resume. That goes for Norman. That goes for freaking Boots. So for the ones who's willing to be neutral, to play the game correctly and assess and examine the records, they pretty much on the same playing field, except WCS said that Norman's bout with Centillion is more exciting than Boots' Corinne Chudikin fight, Ramon Villa. I could say freaking David Avanesian. Because the shit that I was seeing in there, I was like, if you having that much success in landing punch on Avanesian, why you got to become Mr. Nutcracker? You know what I'm saying? Why you got to become the Philly Nutcracker? It's almost like he chose to go to the medical field right there in front of our eyes. You know what I'm saying? He's up there trying to say, okay, I want to perform public castrations. I want to show you how to eliminate a person from having kids this day forward. If your hands are that freaking good, you should be able to hit your opponent from the belt line up to the head area. All that range in between, you should be able to do what you got to do. But I hear these people over and over again thinking it's just a one-way fight. And I'm saying, okay, I get it. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get what people are saying. Okay, Norman wasn't nowhere in sight. He wasn't. He wasn't nowhere in sight. I mean, people know, he was over there in Philly. I thought it was a bad idea to go over there that many times, but people know him in Philly, but they kind of treated him like he was a subordinate when he was over there because he was over there. Boots, he's a big name in Philly. Real talk. He's a big name in Philly. But at the end of the day, the standout performance, let's take Ramon Villa. Yeah, it was good. But if you look at the style of Ramon Villa and how he went about doing the exact same thing he did at Rashidi Ellis, I mean, come on, bro. Come on, bro. I mean, come on, man. What was that fight at? Atlantic City. That fight was at Atlantic City, bro. You understand where I'm at? That was in Atlantic City. Where's the Ballroom Boardwalk Hall? Atlantic City in New Jersey, right? So he was close to home, right? Norman went in his opponent's backyard. I'm just saying. He went in his opponent's backyard. But then you have to look at this too. What was Avanesian? Philly. You know what I'm talking about with the nest? Now Norman is saying he'll go over there to Philly and fight him. Is this a crow that's coming to mess up the nest? You know what I'm saying? Sparring is much different than a real fight. Sparring is much different. I'm just looking at it from a different perspective. When it comes down to this deal, I have to look at it like, man, it's a lot of bullshit that's in between coming from somewhere. If you have management teams that's pushing the work and talking the top rank talking the match room, whatever's supposed to happen, then why is there a break in communication with, isn't Bozy supposed to be, the co-manager or something now of Jerron Ennis since Cameron Duncan has passed? Or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. Correct me if I'm wrong. But how can you not be on the same sheet of music, though? Somebody explain that to me. How can you not be on the same sheet of music? I get tired of lies. I done heard so many of them from covering boxing. I just get tired of hearing lies all the time. The same lies that people, act like they want to fight, but yet somebody else is very close to your team that's in a prominent position is saying that, no, we want Undisputed. So we all know within Undisputed, just like we seen Errol Spence and so many other people, right? There's many different ways to get Undisputed. But ultimately, whoever the last two fighters are, and whatever the number of belts they have, they need to fight. So in this case, to say you want Undisputed and to turn down the fight of another champion, I don't know where they do that at. If y'all got the best in 3 sparring sessions, that's what Norman said. If y'all got the best in 3 sparring sessions, well, you should have it figured out. You should be able to say, okay, we know we're stronger than him in this area, this area, this area, this area, and so forth. We should be good to go. Why are you not willing to fight? I mean, Errol Spence fought Sean Porter, which was a tough matchup. You know what I'm saying? Your Denis Uga's been in there with Sean Porter before and plenty other names, Pacquiao and all that. What his navigation looked like? He couldn't just say, oh man, I don't even want to fight Ugas. I don't want to fight Porter right now. He had to fight him to get the belts. So if you spar somebody, because last time I checked it, I ain't never hear you spar Barrios. I never heard you spar, whoever, the WBA Stanthionis. Let me see if they even did anything over there just yet. I haven't heard of him sparring anybody else that's on that champions list at 147 pounds yet. Stanthionis. I haven't heard him sparring Stanthionis though. I mean, you was just over there in the ranking system prior to switching up the fight for the interim title. You know what I'm saying? You was just there. So you know how the WBO rankings feel. You was just there, brother. So my question to Eddie Hearns, do you really want to fight? Because just think about this. Is Eddie Hearns willing to use his freaking big dog right now in Hearn Ennis without actually making some good quality money? He goes in here and he loses. What does that do for him? You know what I'm saying? I mean, what does it do? I know he just signed Shakur. You know what I'm saying? And we know Shakur, in my opinion, is a bigger name than Ennis. It's no question in that. There's no question. So just when everybody was jumping up and down and clicking their heels and shit, that Ennis is signed with Matchroom, yes, but he ain't the bigger name over there. I'm just saying with the new signees, there's plenty of other fighters over there. And right now, I think the buzz, the social media buzz, I think we got that virus coming back. It's funny how it's returned, and it haven't even been a good. I mean, we just outside of a year, but it haven't really been a good year and a half yet. From what we experienced with that Errol Spence virus. If everybody wanted to go off popularity, and then the popularity gets shut down in just one night. You know what I'm saying? It gets shut down in just one night. So, it's people that's out here like, oh man, I don't think you really think like, give it up to him for not losing his composure, because I would be like, what you mean? It seems like you doubting. Like, I guess if you're making your rounds on the media scene, you really can't be up here saying like cussing everybody out, because I guess the exposure is solid exposure, it's free promo. But I'm just saying to myself, I'm thinking, shaking my head like, damn, these Boots really got these cats believing that he's that guy, but yet they act like they was blinded. They had on 3D glasses when it wasn't a 3D movie, and acting like they didn't see him getting touched up by Avanesian. The same Avanesian that they was saying that was trash, that was fighting Crawford, and they didn't know who he was. They didn't know who Avanesian was when he was fighting Crawford. And then finally you get your shot. And it's Christmas all over again. Chestnuts open. Chestnuts roasting on an open flame. Boots with another low blow. The referee counts him. I mean, come on, bro. Like you're supposed to go in there and dominate Avanesian. But sticking to the topic, I'm not gonna get so deep into this because it just seems like some lies once again is being spread. Eddie saying, everybody rejected, but the only one with legs was Team Norman. Everybody rejected, right? But the only one with legs as of recent is Norman. Ollie, which one is it? Does it have legs or you didn't see no activity? You have seen no movement, period. Which one is it? They all rejected it. Last time I checked, rejected mean turned down, denied, absolved, done away with, consummate, all that shit. So if they turned it down, it was rejected. Is it considered a rejection just because you send something over the first time and it's susceptible to being countered like business? You know what I'm saying? When you're in the conversational stage, the term sheet, is it really being rejected? Yeah, they can be petty and say, "Yeah, you rejected our offer, but the offer was $5, but you rejected it though." If you want to be petty like that, you rejected it though. I didn't lie, did I, mate? You did. I mean, real talk, you did. I recognize you had legs, but you rejected the offer. You know what I mean? You did. You didn't accept it. You put a little of nothing on there, but you rejected it. So be honest. I didn't lie. I just say you rejected the offer. So if you reject, in business sense, what they sent over there the first time, and they send a counter, that kind of, move past the initial phase and say, okay, we still actively interested in making this fight. That's why WCS just sit back on topics like this, because I don't like doing the guessing game with not being accessible to what's going on internally. The private conversations that they having, the administrative logistics, the liaison, all that shit that goes on from team to team in a moment like this. And then, to know that we're now in an era where you put shit out on social media and so many people believe it. You know what I mean? Just so many people believe this shit. So you have savages out there like Hearns and many other people that they'll put information out there just to keep the attention boiling, just to keep it hot. You know what I'm saying? Just to keep it steaming. You trying to tell me he turned down the fight? He doesn't care how much heat Team Norman is getting. He don't care about that. Eddie Hearns is a savage when it comes to this shit. He's one of the best at it, bro. He'll put the information out there and laugh behind the scenes. Don't worry. Yeah. Let's see how he handles the heat. Let's see how he handles, me saying, all three of them rejected it. And then he turns around and takes the blow and say if he has some balls. That's, we heard that before. But, depending on who says it in the moment, it might not have had the same sting to it in this situation at Hearns. It may not have had the same, you know what I'm saying? Because it just seems like now you was just trying to goat somebody into really elevating their temperature. You know what I'm saying? Becoming entirely frustrated. No, it's too early for that. You know what I'm saying? The only person I can tell that actually put some date, Norman said he'll do it in November. He'll come to your backyard, and he definitely wants to fight. That's three. That's lined up. He wants to fight November this year, and he'll come to your backyard. I mean, does it get any more clearer than that fork? Those three prongs right there for you. I mean, it's nothing else to be said about them except the money. I mean, the money has to be whatever it is, the numbers. And then you got to fight. You have a fight, man. But I'm tired of hearing the same song and dance. When it comes down to boxing, it does play the same tune too many times when it comes to big names trying to get them in the ring. It just becomes the same freaking thing over and over again. You say to yourself, man, You think when they're gonna change it up a little bit, they don't. It's the same thing. Why we got to go through the same freaking spreadsheet, the same orientation when it comes to big fights? Just if the fella's gonna fight, damn. Why we got to go through a whole big soap opera? People want to see the fight. You know what I'm saying? People want to see the fight. It isn't no question. People want to see this fight. It has all the suspense and intrigue and the storyline. They sparred each other before. People want to see the fight. Point blank, period. But you see certain people on here that's picking and choosing whether to have total confidence that it's a 50-50 fight. It's a 50-50 fight, y'all. I mean, whatever you want to say, it's a 50-50 fight, man. I know it's tough for certain people to even, look at it like that. Like, man, I don't want to really give credit. You know what I'm saying? I don't really want to give credit because I'm biased towards Boots. I'm leaning heavy. You can lean heavy towards whoever you want. It's okay. I'm not worried about that. You can lean heavy towards whoever you want. But when y'all act like it's just gonna be a run of the mill type fight, I mean, why would y'all like just give it up like that? Like y'all not boxing fans. Why would y'all look at the David Avanesian fight and just say, well, W says, somebody told me this. W says you don't know what you're talking about because Avanesian been in there with Crawford, and you're busy up here comparing who's been in the ring with who when you talk about Barrios have the resume. And I was like, yeah, Barrios was a champion at 140. And him moving up and fighting certain people that was champion does give him that increase in boxing FICO and increases his divisional, stock in the game. You know what I'm saying? It does. Definitely. But we just can't gauge anything off Avanesian. I'm going to leave it at that. I really want to just put it out there that nobody wants to go through the same freaking orientation, correspondence freaking package that we did with Spence Crawford. Nobody's going to wait for these guys to be at 154, 160 to fight each other. When you have had the type of atmosphere that we have experienced in 147-pound with Crawford and Spence, Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, Ugas, Pacquiao. We had all these people that was at 47. It was so much to talk about. And now, as I did a live on, the old guard has moved on. Yes, I did a live on that. I say we're about to have a transition of the old guard moving out and the new guard moving in. That has happened at 147 pounds. Now that we have champions established after Crawford dropped the belts, guess what? I also did a live and said nobody's talking about the 147 pound. Ain't shit going on. Nobody saying nothing. And then all of a sudden, we hear what we hear. You know, the good thing about having conversations offline is that people are telling you certain things is going on. People think their team is just so freaking lock and key, but people be talking. It be other people outside of the team that knows certain things is going on too. But they'll get to a point that they'll tell you something they won't even tell you not to put it out there because they know you good. Some people, they can't do that. Some people, they just go out here and they gotta put it out there after they was told in confidence. I put it out there in 147 pound. Nobody's talking about them guys. No champion is doing nothing. We don't know who's fighting who, this, that, and the other. And then Korean come up here as a mandatory. Bullshit, bro. It's bullshit. Real talk. It's just utter bullshit. You have to say to yourself, damn, do y'all understand what this thumbnail consists of? Do y'all understand what the message I was sending in this thumbnail? Do y'all? I don't think y'all really be paying attention to the pieces I be putting together in these thumbnails, man. They might go over y'all head just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You should really look deep into these thumbnails I make, man. and see what the messages is in some of them. But for Eddie Hearns, right? He's been around the game long enough. This is not his first time doing business. If he's talking about balls, you know what I'm saying? Cojones, whatever you want to say. He have enough experience to make this fight happen. All he has to do is whatever that number, whatever the counter offer was, because he said he didn't receive no counter offer. So that's what the bullshit for me. That's why I stay in the background. I don't really talk about this shit because I don't have time to give half effort on it. You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm going to come up here and do a live based off speculation and hearsay, it's better for me not even go live on it. Unless I'm being sarcastic. Unless I'm telling a story. But if he didn't get a counter offer, and another team said they did send a counter offer, so, you know, now we got to play a guessing game as to who's not being honest. That's all I'm saying, bro. Who's not being fucking honest, bro? Who this, that, and the other, man? Why we got to go through all these freaking lies all the time with boxing? The jukebox playing the same shit over and over again, finger pointing. No, you did it. No, you did it. No, you did it. No, you did it. I sent the counter offers. No, we never received anything. I'm like, if you send an offer and the numbers are so low for a championship, we talking about unification, and that person that's sending that offer over there, they pretty much know ahead of time that if the offer is so disrespectful, their team is going to send the counter offer anyway, right? I mean, wouldn't you expect somebody to say, you know what, in their position, you know, both of y'all being champions, they're not going to accept this. But we just want to see if they're going to send a counter offer. So if you lowballing 3 of the fighters that you said rejected the offer, what does that say about you? If people are going to your car dealership and not buying a car, what does that say about the salesman? They don't want to deal with you. You know what I'm saying? They say, no, we don't want to deal with him. He's trying to put something crazy in. No. If you send in these bogus lowball offers for them only to be rejected, what is your intentions? To delay until a fight come up and the IBF orders Ennis to fight Korean Chudikin? Man, come on. See the stop signs, man. See the stop signs, bro. Boxing do this same shit all the fucking time. They procrastinate. They sit up here and dangle the media. They puppetize people, put out false information, have people talking about it like it's real. And then all of a sudden another fight pop up. Ennis, he's scheduled to fight. We've seen it before with the IBF, bro. We've seen this shit before. People tend not to want to listen to you if they don't like you. But then when somebody you don't like was absolutely correct, what does that say about you? You know what I'm saying? Don't go looking in the mirror, because some of you can't handle a freaking stomach how you are as a person. Like, there's a lot of cowards out here, bro. Boxing has a lot of cowards, man. It's a dirty, grimy sport. But for us to have only so many divisions that's really popping, and I went over that, from 35 to 54. You know what I'm saying? From 35 to 54. I don't consider 168 really popping right now until we figure out after Belanga or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But from 35 to 54, the one that was, you know what I'm saying, the one that had the motherfucking smokestacks burning, and everybody was talking about just last year. You know what I'm saying? Just in 22 and 21. Everybody was talking about that division. Now the kings have moved on, and it's time to establish a new king. And now all of a sudden they act like they forget how the order actually works. How do we conduct business now? How do we bring order to the 147-pound division? It hasn't been dormant that fucking long. He just dropped the belts. He just dropped the belts. See, the one thing about Ennis, he had that belt last year, and then he finally gets around to defending it for the first time, and it's nothing special. So when it comes to this fight right here with Norman, hell yeah, we want to see that fight. Yeah, we want to see that fight. Because, Boots is going to have to go in there and fight a different fight. Now, being that he sparred him 3 times, he might look at the last fight and they're going to study it for sure. And he might say, no, I'm just going to take I'm just going to put it on the line. I'm good. I'll just take my chances. I don't think I need to do anything special. I mean, 12 rounds now. That's what we want to see. We want to see a fight. It'll be good if we know, still you got to have strategy. You got to be smart. But we definitely don't want to, go through the same freaking long-term delayed with them conducting the final fight date for us to, to lock in and say, okay, this fight's happening this time. We're in August right now, September, October, November. It's still ample time for this shit to happen. Real talk. It's ample time for it to happen. It's real. It can happen. It's still plenty of time for this shit to happen. Seriously. But one thing we don't need building up this fight is a bunch of freaking lies and pointing and finger pointing and who ain't doing this and who don't want to fight this. I'm pretty sure, I guess both of these fighters want to fight. Like I said, when this interview dropped from Boots, they were saying he turned down the fight and all that. Well, initially when I heard, I said, you know what? He's lying. But then if Eddie told him they rejected the fight, I can see what Boots was at with it. Boots was just going off what he was told. But bro, stop. Man, your pops say you don't even want the fight. I mean, y'all don't want the fight. Y'all want Undisputed. But what's confusing people when they boosting, Boots up, why y'all not holding him accountable like y'all was holding Crawford accountable? Why? It's difficult. Why y'all not holding him accountable like y'all was holding Crawford for everything? All I see is traffic, one-way traffic. I see from Decatur out. That's it. I see one-way traffic. That's it. I want to see Philly and Decatur clash in the middle, but I'm just seeing one-way traffic right now. That's all I'm saying. Hey Boots, you got to promote the fight too, bro. I think you probably got the damn red light, man. I think the crossing guards came out on you and say, no, you don't want to do this right now. Listen to me, Jerron. Jerron, I have all the perfect plans for you. You're going to fight Corinne Chudikin. Let them talk, okay? It keeps your name out there in the media. Let them talk, okay? Listen, Jerron, now hold on, Jerron. Boots, listen to me. Listen to me, mate. This is what we do. Let me get good 2 fights in, make you some money. You want to make money, right? You know what I mean? You want to make money, right? Okay, you make this money. Then, by then, Norman would have moved up to 154. So the division's all yours. See what I mean? You got to be smart about this. Man, come on, man. Eddie is a sly. Eddie is sly, bro. Eddie is sly, man. Don't let Corinne come up as the next fight real quick. Just like they did Joshua. I remember way back in the day when Deontay Wilder and Joshua was going back and forth. And then all of a sudden, the way they cut off that talk is the WBA came out and said Joshua had to negotiate with Alexander Povetkin, or else he was going to be stripped of the title. That's after the 50 million came on. And say the stipulations is we have to fight this year and there's no rematch. Oh, Eddie Hearns was there? Ask him. He's the one that was the culprit of the 12 million flat fee. So you think he's not a sly fox, man? Come on. Eddie's sly, bro. Eddie has been down this road before, man. Come on, man. This dude. Man, come on, bro. Everybody's out here in the media, man, getting mad airtime. And it's good for the interviews. It's good. But man, Eddie's probably like, no, we're just gonna wait till Corinne Chudigan and get him Corinne up here. Get the IBF on the phone and give it to him. I have to speak to them and see how long it's gonna take. I'm not bullshitting y'all. Latch Puma on deck. I see you. What's good with it? Eddie be capping his ass off for sure, bro. For sure. Salute to the News by Shot News Sauce Experience in the building. Team Tucker Fish on deck. That's what I did today. Also gave myself flowers for getting that straightening from management and promotional companies. Yeah, man, good live. You know, way to break that shit down. You know what I'm saying? But who do we know? I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's just when they don't want to goddamn give you a flower, sometimes you have to go there with a goddamn machete and pick the flowers yourself. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're gonna appreciate a lot more if you give yourself flowers. Real talk. You know, you gotta go there with machete and pick your own goddamn flowers. Fuck it. They need to put these fighters on daytime TV with all this soap opera stuff going on. I'm just saying, man. That's why I got the damn jukebox up there, man. We heard the same tune over and over again. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of you cats in here are too young to know what a jukebox was, you know, back in the day, but real talk, man. Like they absolutely playing the same song over and over again. Lies, lies, lies. And then it's always finger pointing. And then it's verbal sparring in the media. It's finger pointing, you know, back and forth, man. The dramatics, you know. Hey, the only one with legs. Okay, if somebody with legs, then why you can't make the fight then? If you saying he has legs and there's movement, I mean, why can't the fight be made if it was a counter offer? Shout out to Dan on deck, man. Salute to you. Andrew Charles in the building. What's good, Andrew? All this back and forth gets real old between fighters. It does, bro. Real old, man. That's what I'm talking about, Jay. Let him know, man. Hey, let him know, man. Hey, let him know we work for all three credit bureaus. Boots FICO just dropped another 20 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Pounce. You know what I'm saying? Says I got my money on Brian Norman. Yeah, from Decatur, man. You know. Hey, you know how I go, man. Decatur wears greater, man. I just don't. I just like why so many people like thinking he has 4 or 5 names on his resume of recent that just to say he just wipe. I guess when you're flashy, you can get away with, you know, just making mistakes or whatever. But I say to myself, no, that's not true because these same people be criticizing Crawford all the time for little shit he doing and get hit. He get hit once or twice in the fight and he's about to get knocked out. He was out on his feet. You know, they still talking about what Gamboa did 9 years ago. But the good thing about Boots is that he have people that's blind. He has blind onlookers that overlook the mistakes that he do in the ring with putting his hand down and doing all that flashy stuff. And when he really shines, it's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? When he really shines, it's beautiful. But he'll just automatically take a lunch break. All right, man. Yeah, I just landed 6-punch combination. Let me go over here and get a sip off this freaking Red Bull. And then Avanesian coming in and punch him in the face. Oh, my fault. Hey, man, take that. I got to get back to work. I mean, come on, bro. Something's going. His attention span. His attention span, bro. Something's wrong with his attention span. Real talk. I'm not gonna take too long on this topic. You know why? Because it's not gonna do me any good. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't want to even talk about, you know, the whole thing when I start hearing the finger pointing. Eddie Hearns playing Eddie Hearns games. You know what I'm saying? He's a professional at this shit, bro. I have no time going back and forth about who didn't do what, man. Boxing fans ain't trying to hear that shit, but it's good for the fighters to do the round robin with the interviews, cool. But when you talk about the finger pointing and so don't want to do this and they don't want to do that, I'm like, I've heard this before, man. I really ain't trying to hear it again, bro. It reminds me of the old jukeboxes playing the same song every time I walk in the motherfucking establishment. Oh, that was a song that was playing yesterday. Shout out to Samar Warren with that $10 super chat. Lighting up the tree of life for WCS. Appreciate you, big dog. One love to you. He said, salute WCS in the chat. I hear Norman Jr. was offered T.O., Stanthionis, and Boots. Boots was offered Stanthionis, Barrios, Norman Jr. They all turned him down. I'm confused. Yeah, that's what they love to do, man. Like, you get delirious trying to figure out what's truth and what's lies. Right there, Saman. That's what I'm saying, man. Sometimes you just gotta sit back, just listen. Cause I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll be over there with MMA, and I'm definitely paying attention to some upcoming fight cards. I was looking and really studying the ADCC BJJ tournaments, the worlds, and cause I don't go through this with MMA. I don't go through this with freaking BJJ tournaments. I don't go through it, man. They just have a whole nother community over here. Like boxing, it's on something, man. Something's going on, man. There's a health crisis that's going on. Maybe who, what I'm saying? Who should investigate this? You know what I'm saying? The World Health Organization. They need to investigate what the fuck is going on. Why does boxing always have to put tainted meat out there to the media to nibble on and for it to goddamn contaminate the listeners and you know what I'm saying? Infect the listeners. Why you need to infect the listeners all the time? This shit is repetitive. Over and over again. Lies after lies after lies, bro. Who didn't say what? Who didn't do what? Who bro. This shit right here. If it don't happen in 2024, and watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you. Koran is there for a reason. Was Koran there before Boots Ennis was freaking signed? Nah. When he signed with Eddie, Koran moved up through the rankings just as smooth as Boots did. Just as smooth as Boots did. The only fight that I ever did a live on about them moving through the ranking system was Boots. He's the only one. And you ask me why? Because I seen how he was navigating. I seen the process when he was in the legal problems with Victory Boxing Promotion, and then he was going through that dilemma with Cameron Duncan and all that. And then he gets with Cameron Duncan, and Cameron has him basically posted up in Walmart. They just walk by every now and then and dust him off on the shelf and keep it moving. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. Just be patient. Be patient. And then have to go in court, when he passed. Okay, I thought everything was clear. Now everything should be clear path. You're a champion. You defended your title. Norman's a champion. He's waiting to defend his title. I mean, why can't we just get a unification right off the rip? Right off the rip. Because if you ask the right person, they'll tell you, they don't want to give Barrios no credit because he done took some L's in there with big names. But Ennis, he hasn't been in there with the big names to see how that plays out for him. And Stanthionis. So look, I think if the fight's available right now, while everybody's, tuned in and interested, it's the right time to make the fight. If it doesn't happen, 147-pound division is gonna be trash, bro. It's gonna be trash, man, because you're talking about this heading into 2025, and then we're gonna be focused on 154 pounds. We're not gonna be focused on 147 pounds. Once next year start coming back around now, whenever we find out what that Sebastian Fundor, and then we got that freaking Tim Zoo and Baccarin, man, we're gonna be interested in 154 pounds. We're not gonna be talking about no 47. That's what I'm saying. It's good to get one fight, at least one good solid fight between the champions out the way. I know Barrios just had a new one. Not sure when he's gonna get back in the ring. But in the meantime, we have champions that's holding straps. Because 2025 is going to be all 154. We're going to be talking about 154. And then we got Bivol and Bivol coming up too. That shit about to pop off. We got Shakur fighting Joe Cordina. I mean, we still waiting on 135 pound. The replicate what Devin did, what Tio was able to do, what Cambozo was able to do. I mean, we still waiting for both divisions to restart their engines. God damn it, we waiting for the 35 to restart their engine. You know what I'm saying? And we really looking for 140 pounds to restart their engine, but that don't seem like it's been working either since Josh Taylor. And then 147 pounds, yo. And then if you really want to be petty, we could say 154 because Jamel Charlo, he was, undisputed up there. So we have like 4 divisions that's supposed to be, four of the hottest divisions, or for the interesting divisions. They haven't been able to restart their engines, man. 35 haven't. So don't be disappointed if 47 don't get their engine started, yo. You have to think about Josh Taylor and how he vacated his belts, and champions been losing their belts. Don't be mad. 35, just look at it. Look what's going on now. We got high expectations for 47 because it was 2 of the popular fighters. But that has since absolved. So, don't try to rush it. But Samar Warren, thanks for the donation, my brother. Arnold Brown in the building. Salute to you. I see you on deck. And man, y'all hold it down, man. I'm not going to take too much time on this, real talk. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what you know. You know what I'm saying? We'll just see how it all goes down. Is the candles gonna stay lit for this fight? Who knows? But it has to be somebody that's left standing. It has to be somebody to step out and willing to take the risk. I mean, as much as I keep saying it, Ennis, you said once you get the belts, it's over, bro. That's what Ennis said. Once I get the belts, it's over. I'm going to step on them. It's over. It's over. I haven't seen anything that's over. Except my freaking interest. My hearing is over. I'm tired of hearing, you know what I'm saying? Things other than, you can't clout chase Crawford no more. He's gone. Now clout chase freaking Norman. Bring somebody else's name. He said he ain't never been no punk bitch. I mean, come on, man. Let's get rowdy, bro. Let's start talking back and forth. It's only one half of that potential rivalry. Y'all can have a rivalry now. This fight play out the way y'all can do like Canelo and Gennady did, man. Y'all can possibly have 2 fights out of this. Deontay Wilder Fury, bro. I'm saying y'all can possibly have a rivalry out of this shit. But y'all remind Ennis. Ennis said when he get the belts, it's over. He said when he gets the belt, it's over. When he get the belt, he said when he get the belt, it's over. He's stepping on him. It's over. Remember that. Y'all hold it down. Peace. I'm out.